dedicated to southern and eastern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Connor James. The city of Hazard is cracking down on blighted homes and properties. Codes set forth in 2018 are now coming around to find change in the city. WYMT's Will Puckett has more from Hazard city officials who say this has been a long time coming.
In less than a year's time, Bailey Richards is already working some of her magic in downtown Hazard.
Through that process, the city can either raise people's taxes to incentivize someone doing something with that property, trying to sell it, try to give it away, trying to maintain it if that's a possibility for them.
Just more than a year after the Codes Enforcement Board was made, the people on the board are starting to target properties.
The definition we started to go with was abandoned for 12 months or longer.
In total, 45 properties are now on the list. They range from office space to residential properties throughout the city of roughly 5,000 people.
A lot of these properties are owned by people who inherited them. A lot of them don't necessarily live around here.
Letters are now in the hands of those owners, and the clock is ticking.
So from the people that have received the letters, it's been a total mixed bag.
Many of them knowing that change is needed, but not quite sure how to make that happen.
I got this property through, a family member that passed away that left it to me, and I don't know what to do with it. Can you help me find a contractor?
In the meantime, the city, who is forced to look at these rundown buildings and properties, is behind the movement.
This is something that's been on the books in a lot of areas for a very, very long time, so we're not really reinventing the wheel here.
A movement that is bringing about change, needed not just in Hazard, but across the mountains. In Hazard, Will Puckett, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, the city is in the process of creating an online reporting page for blighted properties, hoping to get ahead of the problems before they arise.
Well, we saw plenty of sunshine once again today, but that'll change as we head into the overnight hours and especially as we head into your Wednesday. You'll notice as we take a look at a few of those cameras, UVA-wise showing a few clouds here and there, but overall we have seen those mostly sunny skies and drier conditions. And looking over into the Mountain Parkway over into Slade, you'll notice that we're also seeing plenty of sunshine over there. Few clouds, but overall not too bad out there. Satellite radar shows those clouds increasing and maybe a few showers trying to pop up down to the south. I don't think all of those are reaching the ground except for the one that just moved through parts of McCreary County and probably moving into Whitley County. You'll notice that on the border into Kentucky and into Tennessee. You'll notice those temperatures are into those lower 80s to mid 80s across the area. So warmer than we were at this time yesterday. You'll notice we're about 10 degrees warmer. We were into those lower 70s yesterday, so just a little bit warmer throughout our area. Now, as we head through the rest of those overnight hours, we'll continue to see those clouds really starting to increase along with those showers. We're going to see showers return back to the forecast as early as 3-4 o'clock in the morning. And then we're going to see those showers and storms really increase as we head into the rest of that early morning hours. I'll have a look at that full forecast coming up in just a few short minutes. Connor.
All right, thank you, Paige. A former Estill County teacher who was accused of failing to report inappropriate messages between her boyfriend and a student pleaded not guilty in court. Torstensen is accused of sending sexual messages to a student while he was in a relationship with Cheri Murphy. Chelsea Jones has more from today's court appearance.
Today in court, Cheri Murphy pleaded not guilty.
At this time, we're prepared to waive formal reading of those indictments.
Her attorney says she's under a lot of stress from all the accusations.
Worried, anxious, honestly doesn't really understand why all this is occurring.
The former Estill County high school teacher is accused of failing to report child abuse. A KSP investigation revealed that her boyfriend, Torstensen, had contacted a student on Facebook in an attempt to have sex in 2018. Troopers say Murphy knew about the messages but did not report them to police.
At this point in time, we don't even haven't had an opportunity to review the discovery. So we don't know for sure what it is exactly the Commonwealth is alleging she did.
Further investigation also revealed that Murphy punched a juvenile in the face inside her home back in January. She's also accused of forcing the child to lie about the attack. Murphy's attorney says that victim was her niece who was living with her at the time.
If I can make a suggestion to the court.
Murphy is facing several child abuse charges, along with tampering with physical evidence and intimidating a witness. Despite the charges against her, Murphy is maintaining her innocence.
So we're going to spend the next couple of months reviewing the discovery and doing the best we can to get prepared for subsequent court appearances.
In Estill County, Chelsea Jones, WKYT.
Cheri Murphy's next court date is scheduled for September 5th. And some tense moments in Scott County today when a bomb squad was called out after someone found an explosive. A blasting cap was found in the ground near a home on Walden Cove. Someone installing a fence found it. Now, thankfully, investigators say the cap was already spent and didn't pose a risk to anyone. The homeowner says the house was built about 14 years ago, meaning the cap has been around in the ground for at least that long. And a man is sentenced to life in prison for molesting a northern Kentucky child. The Kenton County Commonwealth's attorney brought the charges against Jerry Breeden last year. In April, he was convicted of sodomy and sexual abuse. Prosecutors say the victim was less than 12 years old. If Breeden is ever released, he'll still have to register as a sex offender and will be on parole for the rest of his life. And a member of the Chicago City Council is pleading not guilty to federal corruption charges. Alderman Edward Burke is accused of racketeering, bribery, and attempted extortion. Investigators also say Burke tried to shake down a fast food business seeking city remodeling permits. The city's mayor is calling on him to step down.
No one can serve with integrity and legitimacy and deliver on behalf of their constituents with this kind of allegation hanging over them. And so for these reasons, I'm calling on him to resign. Bill.
Burke says the indictment against him is unfounded. And while school is out for summer, some students in Laurel County are visiting North Laurel High School this evening, where instead of hitting the classroom, they hit the gym. Tommy Poole joins us live with more from London.
Yeah, Connor, it is loud in here, but it's an opportunity of a lifetime for grade schoolers and high schoolers alike. A night with Coach John Calipari and the Kentucky basketball team. That's right, it's the first stop of the satellite basketball camps, one of 10 taking place right here in North Laurel. Now, you can see behind me kids in grade school and up are participating in drills led by Coach Cal and the Kentucky basketball team. Campers will also participate in a Q&A with Coach Cal a little bit later and have the opportunity to get a few autographs from players here attending the camp.
We'll be all over the state, and this is a great time, the satellite camps, where we get into communities around the state and have our players really touch the fans, so it ends up being a good stuff.
So, Connor, again, just another great opportunity for kids here at this camp with skill sets of any type to just get out here and participate and do some of the drills the guys that we watch every night on TV do. Just catch that bug a little bit more. It's a great opportunity, a great program that Kentucky basketball does just to get that tradition even bigger throughout Big Blue Nation and the Bluegrass State. We'll have more coming up at 11 o'clock as we talk to a few of these campers behind me just about their experience and what it's like to work under Coach John Calipari and other Kentucky basketball players. That's coming up at 11. But for now, reporting live at North Laurel High School, Tommy Poole, WYMT Mountain Sports.
Great story. Thank you, Tommy. The Trump administration is making it much harder for you to visit Cuba. The Treasury announced new regulations today that blocks Americans from visiting the island through organized tour groups. Now, that's the most common way U.S. citizens travel to Cuba. The restriction applies to cruise ship passengers whose trips are arranged as organized tours. The administration also recently allowed companies and Cuban Americans to sue companies using property seized after the Cuban Revolution in 1959. Well, coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, a new study reveals what you should look for on the label when choosing a probiotic. Here's what's important and what's not.
And showers and storms could be on the strong to severe side as we head into your Wednesday. And sadly, the threat continues as we head into the next couple of days and even into your weekend as well. I'll have a look at that full forecast coming up in just a few short minutes.